Try working on black paper to just shake things up. Everyone has heard of writer's block. At some point, artists are faced with a similar challenge, the dreaded blank canvas, or in this case, the blank paper. I have 2 simple hacks to share that will kickstart your creativity. Number 1, turn the block into black. Staring at that blank white paper, trying to decide whether to use pencil or pen. What should I draw? It can be daunting sometimes. Set aside the pristine white paper and try a toned paper, or as I'm using today, a black paper. I recently ordered this midnight black paper and some new white gel pens and pencils. Try working on black paper to just shake things up. Hack number 2 is doodle. Do something that will let you make repetitive marks you don't really have to think about too much. Turn on some music or an audiobook or a podcast and let the marks flow. I made this very doodly Baltimore checker spot doing just such a doodle exercise. I had recently purchased some new pens and I wanted to test them out. Today, I'm going to combine the 2 hacks I've given you and doodle on black paper. I doodled this rose-breasted grosbeak Saturday night after doing an all-day birding event. We had been looking everywhere for this beautiful species, and I came home to find this one on my feeder. I referred to the real bird in my design, but surrounded him with fanciful leaves and branches. For this demonstration, I'm using a similar technique, referring to a photo that popped up on my Facebook memories from 8 years ago. My friend Carol had a great horned owl nesting in her yard, and I took this photo of one of the downy nestlings. Working with white pen or pencil on black requires you to do some negative thinking. I don't mean you should be pessimistic. I'm saying that you have to think in the reverse. When we draw with dark media on light paper, you draw in the shadows and the midtones. Here we will be drawing in the highlights in the midtones and letting the paper make the shadows. I'm going to start with very light lines with this rather hard white pencil to give me an idea where some of the main branches are and where the nest and the owl will be. I'm going to work on the background first because I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, and I'm trying to give myself some space to think about how I will do the bird and how much detail I want in this. I've chosen to use various weights of circles to give me different values. I'm adding random smaller branches between the ones I've penciled in, and these will happen naturally while the sky is being filled in. You'll notice the difference between using a real tree reference and me just pulling stuff out of my head like I did with a leafy background. That's personal choice. Use a photo or make it up. You do you. As I am filling in the sky, I'm butting my circles up to the branches, but not actually outlining them. I want the circles to define the edges without resorting to solid lines. Your doodle lines can be anything you want. I find the circles a nice, mindless way to start, but you can do cross-hatching, dots, squiggles, whatever you like. It's your doodle, your choice. Just remember the direction of your lines will contribute to the composition and can help make movement and flow. Use that to your advantage. By the time I had defined the sky, I was getting comfortable with these pens and had had enough time to think about how I wanted to address the bird. He was very fluffy. I didn't want to use the crisp-edged pen. Plus, I wanted it to stand out and not get lost in the branches. I needed a contrasting medium. I must admit, I'm not really in love with these pencils. They're a bit too hard for my taste, but I think they'll work for what I'm doing here. I put the bird in and actually kind of liked the silvery tone I was getting with the pencil. Once he was done, I had to decide about the nest. I considered leaving it just a silhouette, but added the pencil lines to better define the sticks. A few more tweaks, and it was done. Thanks for hanging out with me today and watching me do this drawing. I hope that the next time you can't decide what to draw, you will try doodling in reverse. I'm Wendy Bale, a visual artist in Western New York. You can find my work on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and at wendybaleartfirst.com.